Hello and welcome to the best time of the week. It is Wednesday, my dudes, and that means we are going to be taking a look at a new Tinto talk. As we learned last week, this time we are going to be learning about two different things. We're going to be learning about technology and we're going to be learning about national ideas. The fact that both of those are lumped in together makes me think that either they're not connected and it's just two things in the same dev diary, or they are connected and neither will work as they did in EU4. And that's kind of what I'm maybe hoping for. But anyway, before we get into it, I would just like to ask you to very kindly throw me a sub because it helps me out immensely. And you get to stay informed about all the latest news and updates coming out of Paradox Tinto with Project Caesar. It is, in fact, an win-win. So, with that kind of chilliness out of the way, let us get into the Tinto Talk. Welcome to another happy Wednesday for the 20th Tinto Talks, where we give out a lot of secret information about our absolutely 100% super secret game, Project Caesar. First of all, I'd like to take the opportunity to thank you for your great feedback, which is helping us shape this into an even better game. Love that. Love giving, a little bit of credit to the community, because a lot of things have been changed in this game thanks to community feedback, especially with regards to maps. So yeah, just acknowledging that is great to see. Today, we'll talk about what will replace the technology levels and national ideas of EU4. While some aspects of the idea system are covered by societal values and or the laws of a country, this new system will cover the rest. So, what have we got here? We've got a bunch of tabs up at the top. Not sure what to make of any of these just yet. But we are in the Age of Renaissance. There are 91 advances. This is a new thing. In the Age of Renaissance. There are some reforms. I feel like green as the color of science is new and great. This needs to be blue. This needs to be blue. I'm just saying, it just needs to be. These are the different institutions that we have in the Age of Renaissance. From 20% to 500% of something here. We have an advances tree. Specifically calling it a tree is interesting. You can queue researches as well. So we're not getting a linear, Tech 1, Tech 2, Tech 3, Tech 4. We are getting some kind of tech tree, which is something that I kind of predicted. I felt like we may be getting something along the lines of the Imperator Rome innovations tree, which apparently is kind of controversial, but I kind of liked it, so I don't know. And then we have these here. These are specifically researches or advances that we're looking to get. Revoke privilege cost, embrace institution cost. We've got some things here. This is the two here. I think this means it's in the queue. We have obviously two things in the queue. This doesn't look much like a tree, but we have this button here that we could click. Maybe these advances are good for us. Maybe they are. Who knows? But anyway, let's scroll on a bit and let's have a look. What were different effects from the technology levels and ideas are now something we call advances. Advances can unlock new diplomacy, new units, new abilities for units, new character actions, new subject interactions, new estate privileges, new laws, new policies and laws, new inheritance system, new casus belli, new government reforms, new cabinet build actions. I feel like new here is a bit redundant at this point. Anyway, new buildings, additional levels for buildings, and new production methods. An advance can also unlock mechanics, like investing in stability, building roads, collecting taxes, and much more. Last but not least, advances can also give you important stats, like more literacy for your nobles or better military tactics. At the start of each age, each country will get a new advances tree, which will be unique to that country. Okay, that's interesting. Tree usually consists of about 100 advances, some of which are common, some of which are specific to who you are playing. Every tree, except the Age of Tradition, has 4 different starting points, a common one and one from each institution. The ones from an institution tend to unlock relevant advances to that institution. So, I guess what we're looking at is One from each institution means people with more institutions, like the Cossacks estate, the Janissary estate, not Janissary estate, the, what's it called? The Dimi estate. All these places that had more estates added will maybe have more potential advances. And that might be, I imagine, the reason why they were initially reluctant to add more estates. That was changed thanks to community feedback, but I imagine this might be the reason why they were reluctant in the first place. And here we have the advances tree. We got, this is a little bit low res, so it's hard to read, but classical societism going into organized religion. There's guilds, footmen, unlocks footman and unlocks gallow glass. Okay. Unlocks the weaponsmith here. Levy recruitment speedy. I feel I'm not blind. This does say speedy, right? Can we zoom in a bit more on this? Not really. Okay. But okay, this is looking okay. I like it. I like the background. It's a bit more EU4-esque, the background there. I like it. Eventually, all advances will have fitting and often unique icons, but for now, the sickle is good. Ah, yes, the sickle has been reused here a few times. That's fine. About 70% of all advances in a tree tend to be common for every country, but the rest depends entirely on which country you're playing. Over 1/3 of the advances in the Tree of Renaissance and Age of Discovery do not require any institutions to research, but some of them will do. And how can you tell which ones do? I wish these were a little bit higher res, I'm not going to lie. That would be very, very nice. We also took the national ideas and adapted it to advances. Some of them made no sense and were lost, but in general the starting bonuses end up as 2 Age of Tradition advances that you start with already researched, and the rest is spread out over the rest of the ages, with what was the finishing bonus as an advance in the Age of Revolutions. In many cases, they've been moved to the appropriate time as well, so currently many unique and powerful Swedish advances are in the Age of Absolutism. We've also heavily revised those whose names survived, and when we work in making unique content for a country, we aim to add more advances as well. Okay, this is cool, this is cool, this is cool. We had a lot of controversy, and I pointed this out in my video, I think, on Sunday, that there were people who decided that national ideas as a way of differentiating different countries was bad. It is not allowed. It's bad. It's you know, all countries should effectively play the same and be differentiated by mechanics alone. National ideas as a thing, you know, at the top of a bar that has, you know, unlock this and this and this and this as you go through and taking more ideas, is gone. And now all of these are baked into this technology tree system, so that while yes, they will still be unique to that country, if you are, say, playing as England and you decide not to go down a heavy naval colonial route and you instead want to do more continental stuff, you don't have to take your unique boat advance. You can instead take a military advance instead of taking it. I think that is great. I think that is great. The question I have is, how many of these advances are we going to be able to get through? Is it possible to do everything? Are there going to be situations as well where we skip over a very early tradition? Is that going to get unlocked as we go through the game if we don't click on it? Is it going to get cheaper over time? So it, you know, you might as well. It's only going to take 5 months now. What kind of system of catch-up is there going to be there? Because sometimes, like, I know this from Victoria 3 especially, if you would ignore one of the early inventions that they have, they will eventually spread to you via the, I can't remember what they call it, but they got, like, text spread. But it also doesn't make sense sometimes to, oh, we don't know about this one technology, but we've got this super advanced thing over here. Doesn't tend to make that much sense. But if there's some kind of tech spread for really early techs, maybe if you are trading with somebody that has it, then it will slowly start spreading to you. That, I think, could be a really cool idea. But yeah, no, that is, I like that. I like that quite a bit. I like that quite a bit. this is another really good way of making unique content for tags in the future, right? Obviously, there is going to be a mission tree system that's already been guaranteed, confirmed, and that is a really good way of adding unique content to tags as you advance through the game's life cycle. But adding new advances is a very simple way of doing the same thing as well, right? Here we have Grosz Krakowski. I butchered that and I apologize to all my Polish fans. So this is an advance for the Poles, I imagine. Does it say Poland? Yeah, Poland has 16 unique advances. And this is one of them that gives them a bit more tax efficiency that only Poland can take. I think that's fine. I have no problem with unique content for various tags. I think that is fantastic. I love unique content for tags. This is fantastic, really. An attempt to reform the monetary system will introduce a new currency, the Krakow Grosz. Minted from silver, these coins are destined to challenge the power of the Bohemian Prague Groschen and establish our realm as a forefront of centralized taxation. Groschen being the currency in Bohemia. It's also the currency that you use when you play Kingdom Come Deliverance. Cool. Very, very cool. We've also a lot of unique advances for what culture you're playing, what religion you're playing, or if you're a country that can own locations or not. Is this the confirmation that you can play a country with no land? You are a landless country, a location bereft country. This is the right. It's been teased. It has been teased, but I'm going to take this as 100% confirmation. You can play countries with no land. If you are a country that can own locations or not. This is confirmation. This is straight up confirmation. I'm so interested to see how they will play. It's so different to anything that's came before it in this series, for sure. Some of the ideas from the groups ended up directly as advances for unique... I'm going to start that again. The word salad. Some of the ideas from the idea groups, ended up directly as advances unique for certain types of countries. Like the Horde government ones were converted into unique advances for steppe hordes, and the divine ideas unique advances for theocracies. I like that. However, most of the ideas ended up being sorted into administrative, diplomatic, and military focus, with at least 10 in each category for every age, starting with the Age of Renaissance. Why 3 categories? Well, at the start of each age, you will pick one focus, which will add those advances to your tree for that age. Interesting, okay. Now, you might think, why would anyone pick anything else than the military? First of all, there are different powerful benefits and tough choices you have to make. Let's take a look at the choice in the Age of Renaissance. So, you go into an age, you choose to focus on admin, diplo, or military. If you choose admin, your admin efficiency will go up, you get lower interest, better proximity propagation, you get cheaper mercenaries and more stuff. If you choose diplomatic, you get better merchants, more diplo rep, march subjects, cheaper war score costs, etc. And then for the military, you get more prestige from battles, monthly tradition gains, and more. Okay. The dawning of the Age of Renaissance. A new era of knowledge, arts, progress is emerging due to growing interactions and institutions. Medieval society is affected by the Pax Mongolica, the Islamic Golden Age, and the European Renaissance. So, you basically, I guess you are unlocking different advance sets. Is there a way... The question here is there a way to... If you finish your advances, say you choose military, you finish your advances here, can I then go back and start doing these? Can I change my focus? Is it possible to change focus after you have begun? I'm very curious about that. Also, lovely little map bits in the background. At the start of the age, the tree is populated with the advances depending on what country it is at the time as well, so you will only get relevant advances to choose from in that age. If you switch tags or change religion or government form, that will be seen in the next age. Okay. That's an interesting song. Let's move it over. The advances tree for the Age of Tradition is a bit unique in it has many starting points in many countries, particularly in the New World, who do not start with all of them. Metallurgy, agriculture, written alphabet, shipbuilding, and meritocracy are different starting points who all have trees. Feudalism, which requires you to have embraced the institution to research, is in the agriculture tree and requires horse riding research first. Legalism is part of the written alphabet tree and requires codified laws and the institution to aspire to unlock their subtree. Many of these are more expensive to research. Expensive in what way? Does it take more time? Or are we looking at expensive meaning some kind of cost? What is the cost for this? This, together with lots of unique advances in the first 3 ages, provides an interesting progress as a new world or similar type of country outside of the Eurasian core. Okay. Each advance has a research cost that's the same for almost all advances. There's a few keystone advances, such as written alphabet, that are far more costly, though. Every country generates research every month, which is paid directly into the advance you're currently researching. Okay, so we have a new type of currency. No, currency is a bit of a strange one. I'm sure somebody will point at this and say, this is mana. But I would disagree based on the one sentence that I've read. Is there any way I can... do we have anything here that says about how much research we're getting? Not really. Oh, wait, 135. They're getting 135, I imagine, a month. This is 4.52% through. I don't know. It doesn't say anything about when it's going to finish or how long it's been going for. And also this 20%, not sure. Okay. I lost where I was now. Okay, so you generate research every month, which is paid directly into the advance you're researching. While a bit unrealistic, good from a quality of life perspective, you can store up to a year's research without having an advance being researched. This is the same as Victoria 2. There's also sort of catch-up mechanic, where advances from an early age achieve in the current age. Okay, so that's what I was thinking of there. It means we can absolutely research earlier advances. The amount of research you do depends on what type of country you are. If you're settled or still nomadic group of pops, and the power of your liturgical language. The satisfaction of the clergy estate and the average literacy of your country also impacts how quickly you research. So, settled country is 1, power of the liturgical language, got average literacy, clergy estate satisfaction. Okay. You can also fully automate research and let the AI keep researching for you. And of course, we've got proper research queue, so you can just select what text you want to get, and it will add all prerequisites to the queue as well. And you will keep adding any valid advances to the queue. Okay. Exploration next week. Good to know. This is certainly very interesting. The reason... Okay, just before we go any further, I'm going to explain why I do not believe that this is mana. And I'm anticipating that it will be called mana by a great many people. There will be a mana discussion, a mana argument, and I'm going to get my opinion out there first. A mana, what we consider mana, is when the method of generation and the uses of it are completely disconnected, and there is no you have to suspend your disbelief to a larger degree than is natural. And there's another word for it that I'm forgetting. It feels like a very foreign Latin-y kind of word. Yeah, I'll probably figure it out. But I think that if your research is generated by literacy, the satisfaction of the estate that's doing the research, paraliturgical language is, I'm not sure what that really refers to yet. We haven't seen much about what this does, as far as I remember. So I can't really comment on that one. But the method of generation and the uses of it seem to be kind of on point, right? They are basically looking like the same, right? There isn't that massive suspension of disbelief as to, why is my ruler stats affecting both the how good the boats that I make are, and also taking Diplo tech. Why are the difference between those expenditures are kind of vast in EU4. So yeah, I've got too many allies, so I can't upgrade my boats yet. Kind of way is strange. It doesn't fit. Requires more suspension of disbelief in EU4. But this, I think, it fits. It's in the same kind of category. Literacy and research, and there isn't like a massive extra cost that is completely set aside and different. But I am feeling quite positive about this. I think I would like this to be a bit more high res so I could read it a bit better. But here's one. You can build cities. You can settle. This might be one of those pillar advances. The Hulk. A Hulk is a ship. So unlocking new different types of ships, that is something we have now learned. We didn't know about that before. Road building here. Merchant maintenance there. I think I'm pretty positive about this. I do think I'm pretty positive about this. This focus thing, we didn't get to know, like it isn't said here if you can swap focuses. Let's have a read of this again. Most of the ideas end up being sorted into an admin dip or mill focus. 10 each category for every age. Why 3 categories? At the start of the one, you'll pick a focus. Add those advances to the tree for that age. But can I then swap and look at other ages? Look at other focuses. I kind of want to know that. I do want to know that because it might be a case that, there are things in both of these that I really want to do. It could be, in EU4, of course, there is admin dip and mill focus that you could change every 25 years, if I remember rightly. Some things let you change it more frequently. So maybe it's like that, and we can just infer maybe, that you will be able to swap over. But otherwise, this works for me. This works for me. I'm going to quickly, I know I don't usually, but I'm going to refresh and see if we've got any dev responses, because I think that might be important. Are there advances tree tied to religion? What happens if you change religion after having unlocked previous advances? Are they automatically replaced or kept? They are kept, okay. Instead of having fixed set of national IDs, you can choose these over time. That's one description, yes. The design, you will not be able to catch them all in all trees. Okay. You will not be able to get everything, is the design. Fair enough. If national IDs are in advances now, does that mean there's a generic set? Well, EU4 lost generic IDs a long time ago. If you don't pick one focus, it means I lose on all tech in that category. You can never research it. Well, yeah, you have to choose one. You have to choose a focus. Why would you not pick a focus? Just pick a fucking focus. We eventually have most techs unlocked. The goal is to have 75 to 80% unlocked. Okay. When you say each country have unique advances, how many are we talking about on average for each country? 5 or 6? Are they really unique for everyone? Don't have an average, but we aim to have at least 8 or so. Not all countries will have them, but there's an enormous amount of countries. True that. Do I understand correctly? You keep that the advances from the previous age are lost when you enter a new age? No. Otherwise, you're losing the ability to build frickin' roads. You keep the previous tree. It makes sense. Yeah, I'm wondering how frequently can we switch focus? There we go. That's what I want to know. I will let you guys know when that is answered. I would like to hear your thoughts, though. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. about what you think of this new technology system. This is so radically different from what we have in basically any Paradox game. It's got elements of Vicky 2. It's got elements of Vicky 3, honestly. It's got elements of Imperator Rome. It's got elements of EU4. It is certainly, I think, interesting is the best way to put it. I am looking forward to learning more about it. And I kind of wish next week's Dev Diary was like kind of digging more into this system, showing off more of it, but instead of moving to an entirely new thing. But hey, that's it. Next Wednesday, we'll be looking at colonization, which again is like going to be super interesting. I would love to get a radically new system because EU4's colonization does nothing for me. And then on Friday, we're getting a map of the Levant and Egypt, so that's going to be fun. Thank you all very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this Dev Diary. I hope you learned something. I hope you are pleased with what you are seeing in Project Caesar. And I hope that you will write in the comments below and give me a like and throw me a sub and all that standard YouTube gubbins. Thanks all for watching, and I'll see you on Friday. Bye-bye.